Welcome to the Business Bootcamp for Freelance Writers video blog and podcast series. I'm Kevin Corbley, and just a short one for you today. I want to talk a little bit about customer care or customer service. You've probably seen some of my other vlogs on this particular topic. And what I want to talk about today is when you're negotiating with a client, you need to accept the fact that there will be clients in your future who are simply not going to be able to afford your pricing and your services. And you need to make a choice, of course. Either you're not going to do business with them, or maybe you're going to negotiate and maybe offer them maybe a shorter article for a lower price or something like that. And here's the point I want to make is that when you do make that kind of a deal with somebody, you want to make sure they feel good about it. You don't want to make them feel bad about the fact that they're getting something a little bit less. I'll give you a good example. This happened to me many years ago. I was buying a car. I think it was my first brand new car. I was pretty excited about it. Didn't have the money to buy a big SUV like they wanted me to buy at the dealership, $40,000 SUV or something. But I was pretty excited. I was going to buy a Honda Accord, which is still a very nice car. And I remember the sales guy. Boy, he was really just trying to, give me the upsell, trying to get me to buy this other car, the SUV or something. And I ended up getting just the stripped down version of the Honda Accord. I was glad I could afford it. It was a two-door version, actually. And well, after a while, it became obvious to the sales guy that I just couldn't afford the bigger car, which was fine. We came to a deal. Once the contract was signed, he completely changed his tune, and he started just singing the praises of that two-door Honda, telling me how great it was, and he was making me feel really good about my purchase, and that's what I needed at that point. I didn't want to feel bad about the fact that I couldn't afford a big SUV. I remember he even made the point that two-door cars are safer because of the way they build the frame or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but it's what he told me, and again, I felt good about my purchase. So that's what you need to do with your client. Same thing. If somebody, again, they can't afford what you have to offer, at least at your normal rates, and you are going to give them some kind of a deal, don't make them feel bad about it. Make them feel really good about it. But here's the other thing you really need to keep in mind is that just because you're going to give somebody, I shouldn't say give somebody, but sell somebody, offer somebody a service, that's maybe a little bit less, a shorter article, for instance. Maybe instead of 1,500 words, it's going to be 750 words, whatever. That's great. To offer them something shorter, a little bit less is fine, but you don't offer them an inferior service. In other words, for those 750 words, you're not going to put as much time into it, obviously not, because you're charging less. But the thing is, you want to put just as much effort into that so that the quality is just as good as the longer full-priced article or press release or blog or whatever it is you're selling. So you always have to make sure that even though the quantity might be a little lower, your quality remains the same. And you got to treat that client really well. I mean, maybe you're not going to spend as much time with that client overall, but when you do have that client on the phone or you visit with them, treat them like they're really important. That's a great way to hold on to a client, but more importantly, it's a great way to have a small client end up someday to be a big client. You never know. Maybe as their business grows, they'll be able to afford the bigger article, the full price services that you offer. Just something to think about in terms of customer care.